Here's how Star Trek Picard's latest episode added a fan-favorite character to the mission. Star Trek Picard's latest episode dropped this Thursday on CBS All Access, and it's chock full of all new things never before seen in the Star Trek universe. I'm talking swashbuckling, I'm talking space pirates, I'm talking hot and heavy romance. Wait, actually, we've seen all of this stuff before since the show's inception, so I don't know, carry on then. This episode picks up with Picard finally in space to complete his mission to find and save Soji after he failed to save Data's now deceased daughter Daj. However, before he can do that, he still needs to fill out the rest of his crew. He's got a few job openings. But in a surprise twist, he winds up with 2 new crew members, and one is an iconic Star Trek alum. So what happened? Well, spoilers abound. If you haven't seen Picard yet, go and watch that first, unless you don't care about being spoiled, in which case, stick around, give us a like, subscribe, you know the deal.
Yes, no!
Let's get into it. First, we had more of Picard's backstory filled in as we saw the toll taken on the Romulans after Starfleet pulled the plug on rescuing them. This left many Romulans feeling distrustful of the Federation and Picard personally, since he was the face of this rescue mission to save them. Space Dunkirk to Space Nunkirk. We also got a bit more mythology about Soji and the Destroyer that she may or may not be, but totally probably is. Namely, that in the Romulan belief system, the Destroyer will release all the shackled demons, which to us sounds like the hidden synth enclave that the Zhat Vash is looking for. Also, Soji's time is running out, in that she only has a week before the Zhat Vash just take her straight to the torture chamber to get that information out of her any way they can. But the main thrust of this episode is Picard trying to recruit Elnor, the not quite a member of the Romulan warrior nun order who only takes on lost causes, to join his crew. Now, of course, while Picard is planetside with Elnor, the rest of the crew is dealing with a local warlord who's got himself an old-school Romulan bird of prey from the original series era. And side note, how awesome it is to see one of those classic ships updated for post-TNG. Now, nonetheless, although Captain Rios can outmaneuver the bird of prey, he can't outrun it. And things are looking awfully dire for our heroes until a new player enters the game, with an unknown ship that gives them the assist on neutralizing the warlord. Unfortunately, their mysterious accomplice's ship is destroyed in the process, but they're able to beam the pilot aboard, and lo and behold, it's someone every fan has been waiting to see, 7 of 9. That's right, Jerry Ryan's back. And look, while we knew she was going to show up because of trailers and interviews that we've done with her, it was a welcome surprise to see her come on board in Picard's moment of need. And based on how the trailers had gone, fans assumed she was going to show up before Picard left Earth due to her apparently being in France in the footage that we saw. However, thanks to this episode, we now know that Picard is using a holodeck version of his chateau as a new ready room of sorts. So where does the show go from here? Well, for starters, Picard does owe 7 of 9 a new ship.
You owe me a ship, Picard.
It's worth noting that 7 was piloting that ship alone, and when she beams aboard, she's rocking neither a Starfleet uniform nor a comm badge. And while she could still be working for the Federation, maybe in their Covert Ops Division, Section 31, we think it's most likely she's running her own solo ops, especially since she expects Picard to replace her ship as opposed to Starfleet footing the bill. So, is she joining Picard's new crew as a permanent fixture? If we had to wager, probably not. She's too big of a character in her own right to simply become a sidekick to Picard. And with the crew next heading to Canto Bight, Free Cloud, we suspect that 7 of 9 is only going to be in the series for this next arc before Picard manages to find a way to pay her back for her lost ship. Maybe some space gambling could pay that bill. While fans loved seeing 7 of 9 back in the Trek mix, one of the great things about Picard is that it's building up its own characters instead of only relying on nostalgia to spike our endorphins. And they know how to sprinkle it in for effect rather than having it serve as the backbone of the series. However, if fans are lucky, there's a future where 7 of 9 could get her own series down the line. Because despite Voyager's many ups and downs, she remains one of the universally beloved things about that series. In the end, whether this all leads to 7 of 9 having a larger presence in Star Trek down the road, or just being relegated to a couple of episodes on Picard, fans are overjoyed at seeing this familiar face, and we know there are still many more cameos and guest appearances to come down the line, like Picard's other number 1 Riker and Deanna Troi, both yet to appear. But what do you folks think? Were you excited to see 7 of 9? And what characters other than Picard would you want to see get their own Star Trek spinoff? Personally, I'm rooting for a Chief O'Brien series set at Starfleet Academy. Let's discuss. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? And if you want to get notified every time we go live with a new show or drop a new video, please feel free to mash that little bell, because that way you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.